Here we go. We got some fresh coffee. We got some disinfectant wipes, and we're gonna clean these carts out. Let's go. Just a few wipes left, but really that's all we're gonna need here. These things go a long ways. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to do this a little like systematically and just sort of go through, wipe the outsides of each of these games, and then get in there with a Q-tip and clean out the actual chips. So we'll start with Q*bert. This game was one of my favorites when I was a kid. This was published in 1987 by Atari. I just want to get any I just want to disinfect the carts a little bit, but like if there's no major build out, I'm not too concerned about it. So next we're gonna clean Enduro. Activision presents Enduro, which is a racing game if I remember correctly. This is a classic game made by Activision. And what I know about Activision is it was basically started off a team of programmers and game developers and designers from Atari sort of went off and created their own company so that they could get a larger cut of the game sales. So if you didn't know that, yeah, the Activision that we know and love today started off as a group of people that worked for Atari and then defected and created their own company. So a lot of these Activision games for the Atari 2600 are a lot of fun to play because they were made by people like designers who had a ton of experience and were all about the gameplay and and plastering their name all over it so that they got the credit that they deserve for their hard work. So they made sure that their games were good enough to put their names on, right? This is Deadly Duck, and it looks almost like a game of Space Invaders with a little ducky in there. 1982, this was published by Fox. So I love it. Like 20th Century Fox made a handful of games. Not sure how many, but like I always think it's cool to see, games developed by big companies like that. We all know 20th Century Fox. So it's kind of cool to see what games they were putting together in the late 70s and early 80s. It's all about the history of gaming and the nostalgia of playing these old sweet games. Next, I have Video Olympics. There's the spine, here's the cover, and it says 21. It says Atari on the side. I'm not sure if this was maybe produced for the Sears telegame system, and that's why it says 21. I think they numbered their games, but you can see on here all the different games you have. It's Pong, soccer, foosball, hockey, quadrupong, handball, volleyball, basketball, all in one cartridge. There's different modes for every single one too, so that's why they say 1 through 12, 13 through 18, all the way up to 43 through 50. Those are different game modes, so technically there's 50 games, up to 50 different games on here. So yeah, that should be fun. I'm looking forward to playing that one. Boom, Taz. This is classic. Again, I'm a huge fan of IPs and just different companies that lended their characters to games for the Atari 2600. Whether it was based on a movie, a series, or just like a pop culture character like Taz. Here we have somebody wrote their name on the cartridge. This obviously was previously owned by Bob. Looks like this was published in 1983, Warner Brothers Inc. So that's pretty cool. You got Taz on the front. You see the root beer, ice cream, burgers, and dynamite. And I actually have Taz, the game, which is Taz and Escape from Mars for the Sega Genesis. And that's a fun game too. Let's see if we can just get this marker off of the cartridge with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. It's going to lighten up a little bit for us. Afraid it's not going to come all the way off. I mean, for all we know, it's been there for 40 some years. A little rubbing alcohol and some elbow grease is just not going to be enough to get it off. It's definitely a little lighter though. And you know, for me, I don't really mind that sort of thing. As long as the game plays, you know, that works for me. Let's go through. We have ARC Battle, 1981. This is one of those classic Atari games with the classic artwork on there. I love these detailed paintings that they have on the sticker labels when, you know, the gameplay itself is like 8-bit and just like the resolution is so low. It's like 120 by 190 pixels or something like that. And yes, 8-bit animation, just super low res graphics, but the artwork is this detailed painting. The top label's coming off a little bit, so we can actually glue that back on a little bit later too. So I'll set that over here. And we'll move on to the next. Again, this is another IP from 20th Century Fox, Porky's, based on the film. Which I don't know if anybody out there has ever seen the movie Porky's by 20th Century Fox. Hit the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Did you know that they made a game for the Atari 2600 based on this film? 1983, Fox Video Games, Inc. So this is 20th Century Fox game based on the film Porky's from 1983. Or I think the film came out in 1982. Hey, what's going on? Have you ever played Porky's for the Atari? Welcome, B. We are just cleaning some carts. I think these old cartridges are just fun and cool to explore and sort of research. You can see this one is produced by 20th Century Fox, and their logo is embedded right into the cartridge on the back, which is fun. I picked up this collection of games recently, so I wanted to clean them off, both outside and in, and make sure that they're clean. They're as clean as they can be. They're polished up, and they're going to play inside the Atari 2600 just fine. All right. So this game is Stargate for the Atari 2600, published in 1987. Oh, fun. So I think that they quit publishing original games like around 88, 89. So this is a later game. I think Nintendo NES came out in 1989. So this game was published just a few years before the Nintendo NES came out. So that should be fun. Looking forward to trying that one out. Whoa! And this is one of those games that I've never played before, which I always love finding new games for the Atari 2600 too. That's always fun. What do we have here? It's an interesting design element here with the openings on the back of the cartridge. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, this is by VidTech, and yeah, I've played a few games by VidTech on our live stream before. This is Space Jockey. Looks like a spaceship racing game, maybe? Never played this one. I know VidTech produced the game, was it Hide and Seek or Seek and Speak? Yeah, I think they produced the Hide and Seek game for the Atari 2600, which is a fun two-player game. But yeah, this is produced in 1982, and I've never played this one, so looking forward to trying it out. Okay, next, the classic Mario Brothers for the Atari 2600. This is the very first appearance of Mario and Luigi Mario. Never before appeared in a video game until this game. Well, it was, I guess I take that back because it was first an arcade game before it made it to the Atari 2600. But let's say first appearance of Mario on a home video game console. Yeah, this was produced in 1983. You can see the sweet artwork. You got Mario and Luigi on the front. Mario in the blue and red, Luigi in the green and red. You see the crabs and the bugs on the cover, but you don't see the turtles, which, if I remember correctly, the turtles are like the prominent enemies in this game. Okay, so then we have boxing. Man, I remember playing this game. This is an awesome 2-player game. It's really fun. You get to, you know, punch out your buddies. I used to play this game with my cousins, and we used to hop on there and just punch each other out. It's one of those super fun, addictive games where you can be very competitive if you want, or you can play against a computer and just set the difficulty and, you know, get knocked out or get a lucky punch every once in a while. This has seen better days as far as like the dirt on the label. So I'm gonna hit that with some, and it looks like there's a little bit of pencil marks on the label too. So I'm just gonna hit that with some alcohol, see if that does anything. This looks like it was published in 1980. So yeah, this is 45 years old, this game. And so some of this pencil's been on there for 45 years. I'm not sure that it's going to come off. We'll try though. Do what we can. Again, this is by Activision. I always love their cartridges because they took such pride in their game development. They actually like embossed their Activision into the back of the cart, which is fun. Yeah, this is a great one. I can't wait to play this one live. It's gonna be good. Okay, then we have Trick Shot by iMagic, or Imagic. Never know how to say that, but one cool thing besides the shape of the cartridges, so that, yeah, Imagic always had the foil labels on there, which are awesome. I always love that. This is Trick Shot, which is like, obviously it's going to be a pool game, billiards. And it looks like this was produced in 1982 by Magic. They did a lot of cool games, like they did Dragonfire, which is a sweet castle game where you run through and grab treasure from a dragon. They did a couple space games. They did a handful. I think I have 6 or 7 games from iMagic. So never played Trick Shot though. Curious to see how a billiards game would play out on the Atari 2600. But either way, looking forward to playing it. Good or bad, I just like playing old Atari games. It's like the rawest, you know, it takes a game and strips it down to like the rawest essence of any game. Like, for instance, this is basketball, produced in 1978. So I've never played this, and I cannot imagine what the gameplay is for a basketball game from 1978. Cannot imagine, but yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Can't wait. 1978, and this is one of those games where the artwork is this beautiful painting, and you know the artwork within the game, unfortunately, is probably just gonna be like some squares, squared off sticks figures running around the screen, throwing a block around, you know. Missile Command, this is classic. This is Telegames, which is fun. Released in 1981, 34 Telegames, interplanetary ballistic missiles and anti-ballistic missiles. So that means there's 2 different games inside of this one cartridge. The reason it says 34 Telegames, in the 80s when Atari was going under, they licensed their system to Sears. And Sears stripped off the Atari label and sold it as Sears Telegames. And so then they were able to re-release Atari 2600 games with this new label. But it's the same hardware, same software. Everything works exactly the same. So that's why you'll find some that are labeled Telegames. Missile Command is a classic. If you haven't, I mean, if you're an Atari fan, I'm sure you've played it. This is... Missile Command. I think I have 3 or 4 copies of this, and they're all a little bit different because they kept releasing this game and re-releasing the game and re-licensing it off to other manufacturers. So Of course, the classic Space Invaders is in here. I want to say this was released in 77. I'm looking for a year. Do we see a year? I want to say 77 is when Space Invaders first came out for the Atari 2600. I've got a few copies of this one, so I might just throw this one up for sale, but it looks like it's in good shape, and we're going to clean out the insides and make sure that it plays well before we post it. Okay, next we have Star Raiders, 1982. I've never played this, but this is obviously like an old... well, I don't know, obviously, but I want to say it seems like it very well could be like a Star Wars sort of ripoff or imitation. Star Raiders is called. Looks like another space game. In the late 70s, they made a ton of space games. Some good, some not so great. And then we have Omega Race by CBS Electronics. Okay. This is interesting. What do we have here? Omega Race, it says RAM Plus. Produced in 1983. CBS Electronics. The reason I say right off the bat, CBS Electronics is interesting to me because the cartridges are not your standard, you know, black color. I got this gray, tan, off-white sort of colored cartridge, which is fun. And I never played this game, Omega Race, and I have no idea what the RAM Plus means. Booster grip today. Use left joystick with booster grip adapter, it says. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm curious to see what RAM Plus is. RAM, random access memory, right? So, don't know if that means you can save your game on this. I don't believe so. I don't think you could save games on any cartridge for the Atari, but curious to see. Never played this one. Looking forward to trying it, though. Gonna have a sip of my coffee here real quick. Okay, and the last one we're going to clean today is Food Fight. How it says for the Atari 7800 Pro Series. What? I do not have an Atari 7800, unfortunately. So I will not be able to play this game. Womp womp, buddy. That's a bummer. Food Fight. I've played this at the arcade plenty of times. This is a really fun game, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to play that one, unfortunately. And then I just wanted to disassemble this so I could clean it out really good. So let's do that right now. This is an old Atari 2600 game. Cart collector. Oh, looks like it kind of damaged the back a little just now. But it's okay. We'll fix it. Put some new staples in. We'll put a new backing on if we need to. We'll get it back in tip-top. There we go. What I need is, let's see. I have some canned air over here, so let me just grab that quickly. Then we're gonna spray that out. Okay, we're just gonna hit it with the duster. I'm gonna move my coffee out of the way so it doesn't get covered in dust. Just gonna spray out any dust, and you can see the dust flying. But the idea of these old cart carrying cases are just to prevent your carts from collecting dust. And you know, if it's filled with dust, then it's not really doing what it's meant to do, right? Okay, I just want to try and get in there with the disinfectant wipe and wipe it down a little bit. It won't come all the way out. It's glued in there pretty good, and I don't want to damage anything, so I'm just gonna go slot by slot, wipe it out as good as I can. Kathy said hello. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Nick White Classics. We are cleaning out some old Atari 2600 cartridges, and then we're also cleaning out this cart carrying case, which is, you know, just a cool way to kind of store your Atari games. So it fits 8, 16, and then you can fit 2 over here as well. So fit 18 games in here. I think this was produced in the late 70s, and so I couldn't find a year anywhere, but it's been around longer than I have. We're gonna get a stapler and we're gonna put this back together. We're gonna reassemble everything nice and neat. First, I'm just gonna wipe it down with the disinfectant here. But before we do that, let's clean off the cartridges, shall we? First, I'm just gonna grab a handful of Q-tips. Dab them up with this isopropyl rubbing alcohol that I have here. Then I'm going to clean them out. Just go to the inside. You can see the chip in there poking out. The first thing I do is wipe those off as good as I can. Both sides, top and bottom. Sometimes only one side or the other has like teeth on there, but it's not going to hurt it if you rub alcohol on both sides. So we got the 93%, so it'll dry really quickly. Sometimes that little fuzz gets stuck on there, and from your Q-tip, you don't want that to happen. Also wipe off any other dust or debris that happens to be in there. And this one, there is kind of a lot of dust buildup. Not necessarily on the cart, but just in the, just sort of in this opening here. And I'm just gonna spray it out, shake out any dust and debris, and call it good. Unfortunately, I don't have an Atari 7800, so I cannot play this game. I'm gonna set that over here in the cell pile. The rest of these I plan on playing on live stream once I get them cleaned up. So looks like Mario has one of these dust covers on there, which, oh, you collect Atari games as well, Kathy? Awesome. Do you have Mario Brothers? Mario Brothers for the Atari 2600. Classic game. The first time that Mario was ever on a home console. Used to play this in the arcade, and I still will if I ever find an arcade with it. You know, with the Mario game there. Definitely put some quarters in. Definitely getting some of my quarters for sure. There you go. Just clean it out and slide the cover back out, let it dry. Set the clean ones up here. Move on to the next. Next, we're going Porky's. Yeah, if you've ever played any of these games that I'm cleaning out right now, I'd like to hear about them. I don't think I've ever played Porky's before. It's hard to say because until recently, I haven't played any Atari 2600 games in years and years and years. But yeah, now that I'm getting back into it and I'm checking these games out, I think my favorites are those that are based on IPs, right? So like different characters, or intellectual properties that are licensed to Atari. And back then, I don't think licensing was a huge thing. They would basically just do a handshake and have their programmers put together a game, some playable, some not so playable. But I cannot imagine what Porky's the game is like, so I'm dying to play this one. Next we have Star Raiders. Okay, that one has a dust cover on there, so we're just gonna pop it down and clean it out. After I clean the chip, clean the cavern in there, like the empty slot where the chip sits. The main thing is to get all of the little connectors cleaned so that you can have straight contact without any dust or debris blocking the contact from the, from the chip to the console. Next we have Omega Race with RAM Plus. No idea what RAM Plus means in this instance. So you could see those like gold little contacts there. That's what we're really trying to clean here. You can see right away I got some junk off there. I like to clean these when I pick them up before I even try them out, just to make sure that we stand a chance. Too many games I've purchased and they won't play inside my console, so just gotten into the routine of cleaning them out outside and in before I even play them on the Atari. Cheers, just drinking my morning coffee. If anyone out there collects Atari 2600 games, I'd be curious to know, what is your holy grail? What's your favorite game in your Atari collection? Throw it in the comments, I'd love to read it. This is, again, basketball for the Atari 2600 from 1978, and this one's not bad. Just gonna wipe out any dust, add some alcohol to the Q-tip, get in there and clean off the chipboard. Yeah, this one's not bad at all. Great. Add that to the clean pile, move on to the next. Space Jockey. A little bit of crud on the titles. See if we can get it off there. Yeah, that's better. Awesome. Grab a new Q-tip, and again, the inside here is just strange because of the way that the cartridge is shaped. Just get some alcohol on there, clean it out. Getting the dust off the inside of the case, just because any dust and debris that's blown around in there potentially could block the contacts and stop the game from playing in the console. Then we'll take the other side, add some fresh isopropyl alcohol on there, and rub those connecting pins. Can't scrape them too hard, just get in there and grind them. Rubbing alcohol and elbow grease. That's how you clean these suckers off. And there you have it. You can see I definitely got some nastiness off that one. That's 40 something years of junk and buildup. We cleaned off the outside already with disinfectants, and so now we're working on cleaning off the chip on the inside so that it can actually play in the machine. With these, you just need something to slide in there and release that dust cover, and then you just sort of pinch it on the outside, and that stops any dust from, that stops the dust cover from sliding back up. There's a couple springs in there that'll shoot it back up. You just hold that in place, get in there with a Q-tip. Brett, what's happening? Good morning. Welcome. Picked up a new lot of Atari 2600 games, and we're just cleaning them out. Boom. There is Space Invaders, the classic. Boom. Space Invaders. This is our clean pile. This is our 2 clean piles. So this is a game by a Magic called Trick Shot, and this is a billiards game. So looking forward to trying out billiards on the Atari 2600. Oh, you're in good shape, Brett. No sweat, man. We are just cleaning out some carts. We're about halfway through, but we still have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 to clean. So you're good. Right on time. Plus, this is definitely a little unscheduled. With the holiday here, this week my schedule's been all off. And I was looking at next week as well. It's going to be a little funky. But then hopefully after that, we're going to get back into a regular cadence. Yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and check the community posts. Our schedule for the next week ahead of time. That way, if you're interested in the content we're producing, you can tune in and not miss out. Legends of Wrestling tomorrow. That's a good question. Been thinking about that. I think there's a good chance. I really hope that there is. I have some things to do in the morning, so I'm not positive, but I really would like to play it tomorrow. So hopefully I can play some Legends of Wrestling tomorrow morning. But keep posted to the community board or the post section on the YouTube page, and I'll let you know for sure, like what time I plan on going live and everything. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the holiday, I'm a little screwed up this week. Got a lot sort of going on. Check out this one, Taz. Yeah, you're right. Right, the holiday came right when we were developing a proper schedule. That's a good call, Brett. Yeah, I appreciate your help with all this too, man. You've really been sort of instrumental in holding me accountable. I'm trying to go live, 5 or 6 days a week. And then we also, as you know, we started a wrestling podcast. So then we have to schedule around 4 people's schedules, not just my own, in order to get that podcast together. So we're planning on going live this Sunday to get that podcast going. It's going to be card number 2, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And then next week, we have kind of an interesting lineup. We're definitely going back to, just to give you a tease of what to expect this next week from Nick White Classics. We're going to do Mario Mondays, and we're going to do Sonic Sunday, Mario Monday. I was thinking about doing maybe a bonus Legends of Wrestling on Wednesday, so we could do Wednesday wrestling. Thursday, I was going to do another retro replay with some Atari gameplay videos. And then Friday, we're going to do some more classic commercials. Then Saturday, boom, back into the routine of Saturday morning, Legends of Wrestling, Sonic Sundays, Mario Mondays. and so on. This is Stargate. Yeah, I can't wait to play all these new games, though. So many new Atari games, and being Black Friday, probably have to get dragged out into the world and do some shopping today. So I thought I'd go live this morning just to clean these carts off and chat with everyone. And I'm going to be out looking for cartridges, man. I'm going to be looking for Atari games, Sega Genesis games, Nintendo GameCube games, Nintendo NES games, on the cheap, hopefully. Some people get up early. Like, I know people still do that, where you get up at like 4 in the morning and go out and get your doorbusters and do your early shopping and everything. But man, I can't do that. But a little bit later today, I will be doing some shopping. I'll be out there looking for some Atari carts, some used games out in the wild. Okay, that's right. Let's clean the top of this here. So to start, I'm going to get off any remaining glue that's on the top here. This label's more than halfway peeled off, so I'm going to use some alcohol to pull any of that glue off. And then I'm just going to let it dry and once it's dry, we'll add some paste on there. I need some more Q-tips. Okay, moving on, we have Video Olympics. Yeah, check it out. Thanks for publishing the schedule there, Brett. Much appreciated. Okay, so yeah, so this is has the dust cover, so we're just gonna use, typically, you just push something in there, like the blade, or maybe I could try the screwdriver. There we go. Then it slides down and you just give it a pinch and it'll hold open for you.